If you have a block or a cushion, let's go ahead and grab that and let's place it behind us and sit on that block. And we're going to start out in an easy pose. I like to sit with my legs crossed, especially on a block, because it adds height. It also takes off a lot of pressure in the hip connectors, which is nice. So it just allows the legs to relax and stretch out. You can also sit on a block with your legs extended. You can sit on a block with your knees behind you. There are lots of different options, but a block is great for meditation if you're doing that outside of your general practice. And it's also nice just to start out as we connect our breath. So let's go ahead and sit up with a nice tall spine. Let's bring our shoulders up towards our ears and just roll them back. I think we all sit a lot during the day, especially during this unusual time of COVID. And we tend to find safety in bringing our shoulders forward and rounding our shoulders. And we're going to work on some things today to help alleviate that and maybe help our posture. So bringing our shoulders up, rolling them back allows for some space in the collarbone. Our lungs have extra room to accommodate our breathing. Let's go ahead and turn on our breathing. So breathing in from the belly, we're going to do our Ujjayi yoga breath. Breathing in from the belly, up through the collarbone, in through the back of our throat, and then exhaling out through our nose. Always breathing in through our nose and out through our nose, because our nose has natural filters built right into it that our mouth doesn't have, and just keeps us healthy and safe. So let's go ahead and try this. When you breathe in as though you're very surprised. Maybe you're imagining that you're seeing somebody and you're very surprised. And then when you exhale as though you're fogging up a mirror. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to hear your breath in the back of your throat. So let's try that. Breathing in through your belly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Exhaling a little longer. Let's try that again. Inhale, surprised. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice how that pressure and all the stress just melts right off of you. Let's try that one more time. You can close your eyes even if you like. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting to hear that nice Ujjayi breath in the back of your throat. And continuing with your breath, let's go ahead and set up an intention for today's practice. That can be a simple word like gratitude, kindness, patience, love, joy, peace, self-control. There's so many examples. It can be a goal. It can be an affirmation. We do this, we set this intention just to come back to it, because we really want our mind right now to stay focused in the present and not to be thinking about what we have to do later after our practice or tomorrow or next week. It just distracts from our enjoyment of our yoga practice. So staying in the here and the right now, go ahead and set your intention, and let's take a breath as you do that. Deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice work. Let's go ahead before we come off of our block and take a few more little stretches. Let's bring our shoulders up again towards our ears and roll them back open, creating that space. And then let's sweep our arms up towards the ceiling, bringing our hands into a prayer position and drawing them out. So our elbows are pointed out towards either wall. And we're going to do a little opening stretch, what I was talking about earlier about not rounding our shoulders. We're going to do a few little things to help prevent that. So on your next breath, go ahead and just bring your hands right behind your head. And then inhale them right back up, trying not to move your head. And then Inhale, bring them back. Exhale, bring them up. Inhale, reach them back, feeling those squeezing shoulder blades, and then exhale, bring them back up. Let's do one more. Inhale, bring them back. Exhale, bring them right back up. And then we're going to clasp our hands and just bring them up and just reach, reach, reach. Maybe your biceps will touch your ears. Just reach, 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 and then bend your arms, and we're going to do another little stretch. So on your next breath, stretch your elbows so that your right elbow is almost at the top of your head. Trying not to put any pressure on your head, and just reach back, and then switch sides. Reach back, elbows are reaching back towards the wall. And the next breath, switch sides. And we'll turn this into inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Feeling our posture improve as we do it. One more, inhale, exhale. And then let's bring our shoulders down and reach them back up towards our ears and roll them back, squeezing our shoulder blades together. And let's clasp our hands again and just place them on the back of our head. Once again, our elbows are going to be facing the opposite walls. And then we're just going to bring our elbows together. So we're going to inhale them in, exhale them out, pressing those shoulder blades together. Inhale, touch the elbows. Exhale, out. Inhale, touch. Exhale, out. One more. Inhale, touch. Exhale, out. Nice work. One more. Let's go ahead and take our hands and place them right on our waist. And this is a variation of cat-cow. This time, I'm giving you permission to round your shoulders. We're going to round our back. So we're going to round our back, squeezing our shoulders together. Our spine is rounded. And then we're going to sit up tall and just squeeze the shoulder blades together. So that's the action, and I'll help you out with the breath. So inhale, round. Exhale, rise. Inhale, round. Exhale, rise. One more. Inhale, round. Exhale, rise. This is so nice for the low back as well. Speaking of the low back, let's go ahead and remove our block so we can do a little work helping out that part of our body. So you can just place your block nearby. We may use it again. Sitting in your easy pose, let's go ahead and just bring our fingertips on either side of us and do a little bit of sun salutations seated. So let's go ahead and reach up towards the ceiling, reach, 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 reach. And then we're going to take a little side stretch to the right. Feeling it in our waistline. Maybe the elbow on the right side comes down. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, take it to the left. Keeping those sit bones on your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach right. Press up, inhale, reach up. Exhale, to the left. We're going to do one more round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, to the right. Sit bones glued to the mat. Good job. Press up, inhale, reach up. Last one, exhale, reach left. Nice work. And then come up to our neutral position. We're just going to work our way down the body with some stretches this morning. Let's go ahead and reach our hands out in front of us. And we're reaching them out as though there is a wall in front of us. And we are trying to touch that wall. And you're going to feel this in your shoulders. Reaching, 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 reaching. And then we're going to work on our wrists. We're going to dial the right hand down. This is for all that computer work and cell phone work we do. Take our left hand and just give a little tug to each finger. Gentle little tug. Great if you play the piano as well. And then reach around, grab that thumb, and just gently pull the thumb towards the wrist. Very gently. And then we're going to return our hands down, or actually this one is up, the left one's up, and just dial the right one back up, and then dial the left one back down so we can be balanced and do the other side. Taking the right hand, give a little tug to the pinky, ring finger, center finger, and then pointer finger, and then reach around to that thumb and just give it a little gentle pull towards the forearm, wrist area. Pressing that. Thinking about all the things that you do with your hands, cooking, cleaning, little tasks, computer work, cell phone work. And then let's shake the hands out. Just give them a little bit of shake. And then let's make some fists. Make some fists, and then open your fingers wide, stretch, stretch, stretch. Bring them back, pushing against that imaginary wall, and then make a fist again. And then spread them out like starfishes. Press against that wall, press, press, press. Let's do one more just like this. Fist, starfish, and press. Nice work. And it may not feel like you're doing a lot, but you actually are. And you probably feel it in this region of your forearm. It's very nice for you. Let's take some round circles with our body circles. You can take your hands and place them on your knees, or you can place them in the floor, on the floor in front of you, whatever feels the best. I'm going to keep mine on my knees, and I'm just going to rotate around. And I'm just going in a right direction, making these circles, hearing my breath in the back of my throat. Make sure you don't forget to breathe. And then when you get to that center, just reverse your circles the opposite direction. If you have lost your breath, just remember, breathe through your nose. You're surprised when you're breathing in. You're fogging up a mirror when you're breathing out. And then coming to a neutral position, let's go ahead and remove our hands from our knees. Press them into the floor, and let's just take a bend. Try to touch your chest or your chin towards the mat. Try to keep your sit bones on your mat. Lots to think about. And then come on up. That was for your low back. We're going to continue with the low back by bringing our feet out, doing a pose that's called Lord of the Fishes. This is so good for your low back and many other parts of your body as well. So the key here with all of these poses where your legs are out is to think about your toes. And they need to always come towards your forehead. And that way you're not having to reach for your toes, bounce, cause any kind of an injury. This is a safer way to do it, and your body's doing the work for you. Let's go ahead and bend that right knee, press the sole of the foot into the floor or your mat, and then lift that right foot and just place it right on the outside of your left knee. And then your opposite arm, the left arm is going to come up. It's going to wrap around that right knee. Right arm is going to come out in front of you, and it's going to wrap behind you, plant into your mat, and then you're just going to gaze over your right shoulder. So just take a look over that right shoulder, maybe even twist a little more with your breath. You're going to feel this in your waist. You're going to also feel it on the right side of your low back. Holding this. And then exhale, come back to front and center. And let's go ahead and remove that foot and switch sides. So go ahead and bend the left foot and take that left foot, place that foot right outside the right knee area, the outside of it. Opposite arm comes up, which is the right, wraps around, left arm goes back behind, and take a look over your left shoulder. Remember to draw those toes up towards your forehead, even though you're not looking at it. Inhale, exhale. Let's stay here for another breath. Inhale, exhale, and then come back around. Let's turn this into a forward fold. Bringing both legs out straight in front. If you have tight hamstrings, just put a little bit of bend into the knee, taking that strain off. And then bring your fingertips out to your side. Let's go ahead and sweep our arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, take a fold. Remember, you don't have to touch your toes here. And with your breath, you might even be able to walk your hands a little closer towards that front wall, bending the knees if you need to. And relax your neck. You can just look at your ankles, staying here, holding this, enjoying this. And then on your next breath, let's go ahead and walk our hands back up. Let's do one more stretch while we're here. You can either leave your legs out just like this, or you can come back to a different type of sitting position. It's your choice. I'm going to stay right here We're going to take care of our necks. This is a really popular one. We're going to raise our right hand, reach it all the way around till we find our left ear, and then we're just going to pull our right ear towards our right shoulder. We've done this several times. And we're just going to breathe. Inhale, exhale. Let's stay here for another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then releasing that, take that same hand, put it on the back of your skull, and just draw your nose towards your right underarm. Maybe even look towards the back of your mat, pulling a little more so you get a deeper stretch in your spine. And then releasing this, let's take care of the other side. Go ahead and raise the left hand, reach it around, find that right ear, and just give your head a little tug. Left ear finds left shoulder. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine, releasing all that tension that we've stored in that area. And then releasing this, take that same hand, place it on the back of your skull, and just draw your nose right to your left armpit. Looking back, maybe you can even see the baseboard on the back wall. And then releasing that. Nice work. We're going to very gracefully move into a tabletop. So I like to do this just by bringing my legs on whichever side is the most comfortable. And since I'm facing you, I'm going to bring them this way. And then just pressing my palms into the mat, drawing my knees right under the hips and coming into the tabletop position. We're going to do some work today here. So once again, I'm going to stop right here and just direct you. If you have sensitive knees, this is a really good time to use a blanket or a towel. As I said earlier, if you don't have those items, you can just take your mat, fold it, and you have an instant knee pad. So mats are amazing. So let's just go ahead and place that and get set up. And then once you're set up, let's just take some cat-cows. Before we do that, take a look at your fingertips. We want to protect our wrists and we want to keep our hands active. That's something you hear me say during every class. It's as important as the toes facing the forehead. Form is so important. So press your fingertips into the mat as though you're leaving little indentations in the mat. Active hands will protect the wrists and keep you in those poses longer. Let's take a cat-cow here, breathing in for cow, drawing your belly button towards the mat, and then exhale for cat, drawing your chin towards your chest. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Let's do one more. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. And then staying right here, we're going to do our warrior series on our knees today. Very, very gentle. So we're going to be bringing the right foot in between our hands. If you're visual like me, you might even want to take a look at your right knee and your right foot so you kind of know what's coming next. And on your next breath, just draw that knee up towards your chest and plant that right foot in between your palms. You might even want to TP your fingers here a little bit. And then we're going to rise up, placing our hands on our knees. Our left leg is just as you see it, just at an angle here. You're on your knee, the back of your left foot is flat. And then we're just going to come forward on the right knee. You're going to feel a nice stretch in your hip connector on the left side. And just take your gaze forward, and then exhale, come back up. Inhale, come forward, feel that stretch. Exhale, come back up, and then we're going to start our work. We're going to bring our hands to heart center here. And let's take a deep breath in as we do this. Inhale, exhale, and then we're going to take a little twist. The right hand is going to come down and touch the mat. The left hand is going to reach towards the ceiling. So on your next breath, go ahead and make that little twist. It's a little bit of a balance. Try to hold it and maybe even try to look at your left thumb. Think of triangle when we've done the triangle before. And then in your next breath, you're going to come right back to heart center. And then the next breath, we're going to go the other direction. So the left hand is going to come down, right hand's going to go up. And you're going to be facing that right wall. Ooh, nice stretch in the back. And then inhale, heart center. Let's do a flow of this. Next breath, right hand comes up, left hand reaches up. And then inhale, heart center. Exhale, face the right wall. Inhale, heart center. One more. Take your breath. And the next breath, heart center. And then take your breath towards the right wall. Come up, heart center. Great work. On your next breath, we're going to come right back into our tabletop. So go ahead and exhale, bring your hands down to the mat and just send that right leg very gently so the knee finds its place on your blanket or on your folded mat. And let's take a few little hip wiggles here. They're a little bit different from cat-cows. So we're just going to swing the hip out towards the left, and then we're going to swing the hip out towards the right. We're just going to swing and swing. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale. This is actually called wagging the dog's tail. So it is a real yoga pose, and it is so good for your spine. We have to do the other side to stay balanced. So let's go ahead and just gaze down and take a look at our left side, our left knee, our left foot. And on your next breath, go ahead and slide that left foot forward. The knee comes up, maybe it even touches close to your chest. And then just send that foot right in between your palms. You can TP the fingers once again if you need to. And then on your next breath, go ahead and rise up. Place your hands onto your left knee. And let's just slide forward, just rock forward. This time you're going to feel it on your right side, the right hip connector. You're going to feel that nice stretch. If your knee is sensitive, back off a little bit and come up a little bit. And then come back up to neutral. Exhale, come back down. Always being careful of your knees. You know your body better than anybody, so just back off. You don't want any strain or pain. Let's do one more. Reach down. And then inhale, come right back up. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Take a breath in. Exhale out. I'm going to turn this way just so I think you can see me better. So you don't have to turn, I'm just turning so you see the movement a little bit better. And then that same concept, we're going to go ahead and reach this time the left hand down, reach the right hand up in our little twist. Try to see your right thumb, a little bit of a challenge, balance there. And then inhale, heart center. Exhale, right hand comes down, you're facing the opposite wall. Try to see your left thumb. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, twist, you've got this. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, heart center. And I'm going to turn back around so we're all the same. And we're with our hands at our heart, we're just going to come right back into our tabletop. So go ahead and take your breath in. And then exhale, press your hands down into the mat and send that left foot right back into your tabletop. Now we've been in tabletop for a while and we still have some work to do. So we're going to throw in a child's pose. So just bringing your knees as wide as you can get them, maybe the outside edges of your mat, drawing your big toes to touch, and then just send your hips back towards your heels. And let's walk our hands forward. Walking them forward, maybe with your breath, you can bring that chest down to your mat and take a deep breath in. Deep exhale out. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the right. Just take a little walk with your hands as far as they'll go to the right. And maybe the left hand can even stack on top of the right hand. You're going to get a shoulder stretch here. Inhale. Exhale, let's stay for another breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. And then let's walk our hands back to the very center of our mat, and maybe even inch your fingers towards the top of your mat to press down that chest a little further. Maybe you can even put your forehead into your mat and roll your head. Don't worry if you can't do it. This takes time. It takes many months of practice. Even if you're just on your forearms and your elbows, that is perfectly fine. So we're going to go to the left. So on your next breath, go ahead and walk those hands over towards the left. Pick up that right one and place it on the left if you like to. This is always an option. And let's hold this for 2 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. And then let's walk our hands all the way back forward. And then on your next breath, slide those hands towards you. Hands are going to come right under the shoulders, and you're just going to rotate those knees right underneath the hips. And let's go straight into our balance, our little table balance that we do. So you're just going to reach out that right hand, thumb faces the ceiling, reach back that left foot, toes face the floor, and stay right here. If you want a little more, reach your right arm back behind you, grab that left foot and lift it up towards the ceiling, maybe even lift it up a little higher, maybe rock a little forward to get it higher, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just the palm comes down. Foot stays up, but we're going to rotate those toes to the back wall so the foot is flat. And we're going to work on our glutes here in the back of our thighs, lifting up towards the ceiling. And let's lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rest that leg down. Let's take some deep hip circles. Reaching those hips back towards the heels, making these really active spinal circles, moving your spine and your shoulders and your head along for the ride. Think of a hula hoop as a child, really putting a lot of movement in. And then when you get to the top of your mat the next time, just reverse those circles in the opposite direction. How are your fingers doing? Take a look at your fingertips. Make sure your hands are active. Pressing those fingertips into the mat, always, always. Nice work, everyone. And then coming to that neutral position, let's work the other side so we're balanced. Reaching out that left hand, thumb faces the ceiling. Reaching back that right foot, toes face the floor. Stay right here. Or reach back behind you, grab that foot, lift it up towards the ceiling. Maybe your breath takes it even higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. And then just bring the palm down, rotate those toes towards that back wall, and let's work on our glutes. Lifting, lifting, lifting for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower down. Let's take a cat-cow here. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat, drawing your chin towards your chest. Let's do one more. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Coming back into our neutral table. We're going to reach back our right foot. Reach it back, toes are active. On your next breath, you're going to reach back the left foot. Toes are active. We're in a plank pose. Yikes, we're not going to stay here long, not to worry. Just rock forward so your shoulders are right above your wrists. Squeeze your elbows in. You can drop a knee if you need to, and just come on down slowly, slowly. Upper body strength, so good for you. And then press your right ear into the mat. We're going to do a little bit of work on our bellies. So let's catch up with our breath here. Make sure we hear that ujjayi breath in the back of our throat. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. And let's go ahead and bend our knees and just swish them to the right and then swish them to the left and just swish them. Breathing, taking your hips along for the ride as you swish. And then on your next breath, let's lower the legs all the way down. We're going to do a locust pose. So your hands are right above your shoulders, and we're just going to lift them up off the ground, trying to lift back everything, your back legs, your feet, lifting everything off the mat except for your belly. Taking your gaze just down at your mat so you don't strain your neck. Let's go ahead and lift up, lifting the hands up off the mat and holding this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then press back down. This time, press your left ear on the mat. And if you want to, you can bend your knees and swish them side to side, breathing in, exhaling out, hearing that breath in the back of your throat like the ocean. And then on your next breath, go ahead and lower those feet back down to the mat. We're going to take a little shoulder stretch here. So the best thing to do for this, it's so tempting to watch your screen, but it's more enjoyable if you just listen to my voice. So you're just going to think about bringing your hands out into a T, but you're only going to do it on the right side. So on the right side, just slide your arm out. Palm is facing the ground or facing the floor. And it's as though you're reaching for that wall next to you, which would be the right wall. And then with your left palm, which is still right above your shoulder, you're just going to press into it and start to roll onto your side. You can have your head just relaxed on the mat. So your chest is actually facing the left wall. Your right arm is back behind you underneath you, facing the right arm. And you get a nice stretch in your shoulder, which is so nice after that plank we just did. So we're just going to hold this. Breath travels up the spine. And breath travels down the spine. And then we're going to roll right back onto our belly and slide that right hand right about where the left one is, right below that shoulder. And we're going to do the other side. So this time you're going to slide the left hand out. So the fingers are reaching for that left wall. And then with your right palm, you're going to press into the mat. And you're just going to roll over onto your side. My back is going to be towards you if you are watching. And your body is going to be facing that right wall. Take 2 breaths here. Breath travels up the spine. And breath travels down the spine. Inhale. Exhale. And then just come right back to neutral. Sliding that left hand underneath your shoulder. So both hands are just pressed into your mat, into your shoulder. Let's go ahead and take a floor bow while we're down here. Let's bend our knees. You can flatten your feet and take your left hand and reach back and find your left ankle and just grab hold of it. And then reach back with your right hand and find your right ankle and grab hold of it. And you can stay right here, or if you really want a nice challenge, you can lift up into a floor bow. And we're going to lift everything up off the mat, including our chest, just drawing the belly button in towards our spine and into the mat. So let's go ahead and lift up, lifting, 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 and then release. And just let your legs come flat. Bring your hands right back where they were, right above your shoulders. You can press an ear into the mat if you like, and take a deep breath in. Deep exhale out. And then think about where your hands are. We're going to replace our hands with our elbows. So we're just going to lift up a little bit and put that right elbow where that right hand was, and then put that left elbow where the left hand was. And this is a Sphinx pose. And it doesn't seem like we're doing a lot, but you're actually doing a lot of beneficial work and stretching for your low back. And we're just going to hold this. Take your gaze to the floor right in front of your mat so you're not straining your neck. I get asked a lot of times by people, what do you do with your body, your lower body? Should you be squeezing anything? Really, it's nice to just stay still, but if this is not comfortable for you, you can squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your glutes, lift your kneecaps, And then slowly release them back into stillness and just allow your body to be still. We're just going to stay here for one more breath. Inhale, exhale, and then think about where your elbows are. We're going to replace our elbows with our hands. So on the right side, just slide that hand forward right under the shoulder, and then slide it on the left side and lift up. Voila, you're back into a tabletop. Make any little adjustments you need to, maybe bringing the knees forward back onto your blanket. We're not going to stay here very long, but let's go ahead and wag the tail. Let's go ahead and bring our left hip out and then bring it over to the right. Inhale, hip to the left. Exhale, hip to the right. Coming back to neutral, let's go ahead and tuck our toes, come up into a downward facing dog, gaze at that back wall, and let's go ahead and stretch out our calves here, just bringing one heel down, bending the opposite knee, pressing those fingertips into your mat, don't forget that. And just taking some breaths here. Breath travels up the spine, breath travels down the spine. And then on your next breath, we're not going to stay here long. You can either step your feet up to your hands, or you can bend the knees and take a little hop. I'm not going to hop today. I'm just going to walk my hands right up to my feet. And then from here, we're going to just go into a ragdoll. I'm going to face you so you can see how this is done. We've done this before. You're just going to hang, come to the side so you can see it. You're just going to hang your head, put a little bend into the knees. You can even interlace your arms at the elbows, make some little gentle rock side to side. Another nice thing to do here is to clasp the hands together, bring them to the back of the skull, and just press your palms, the lower part of your palms into your neck, into your head, giving yourself a little massage. So nice. And then slowly lower both arms and rise up. Slowly, 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 one vertebra at a time. You're getting all the way up until your head is the last thing to come up. And then once you're here, we're going to do a little bit of balance. So if you'd like to, come near a wall for a little extra support, or maybe grab a chair or go near a chair. Step off your mat if you're on carpet or your mat is relatively thick. And we're just going to do a little bit of balance. It's so important for us. So let's get situated. And once we're all there, let's go ahead and bring our feet about hip distance. And let's go ahead and sweep our arms up towards the ceiling. Reach, 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 reach. Spread your fingers wide and lift all 10 toes. Beautiful. And then exhale into Tadasana. This is a military pose. And we're just going to bring our shoulders up towards our ears and roll them back, squeezing in our belly button, tucking our tailbone, lifting our kneecaps, turning all of our muscles on, even squeezing our face, squeezing the backs of our arms. You're going to feel it in your triceps. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Maybe you're shaking, and then exhale. Just relax. Oh, doesn't that feel nice? Relieve so much stress. And then we're going to do a little bit of balance. So let's take all of our weight and put it into our left foot. And take your hands, if they're not already on a chair or on the wall, which is really what I recommend, but if you're comfortable, just take your hands and put them on your waist. And take your right foot, and we're just going to tap our toe. Just tap, 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 tap. And then we're going to draw that knee up and straighten those toes towards that front wall. This alone is major balance. And then we're going to lift the knee. We're going to lift it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to straighten that leg out in front of us, draw those toes up towards the ceiling. And we're going to hold this, maybe even lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to bend that knee. I know the standing leg's getting tired, but we're going to keep going and just lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you'd like to, you can touch down and take a little break. So let's go ahead and do that. Take a little break, touch down, inhale, exhale, and then let's go ahead and lift that knee back up, and we're going to come into an airplane. So gaze at a spot on the floor. Maybe your foot even touches the back wall like mine does, which is nice for support, and hold this. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly come up. Try to come up into a tree from here. You might have to touch down. Maybe it's a low tree, maybe it's a high tree. You just want to avoid the knee area. Press your palms together, and let's try to grow our tree slowly, taking your time, gazing at that wall in front of you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness, nice work. Go ahead and release that. Let's take care of the standing leg. Let's just press the toes of that left foot into the mat. That alone gives us a lot of relief. And then we can just rotate that ankle towards the right, and then rotate it towards the left. Maybe even give it a little shake. Very, very nice. Maybe even do a little marching, lifting your heels a little bit. And then we'll take care of the other side. So standing this time onto your standing leg would be your right leg. And we're going to work the left side. So with the left foot, just begin to tap. You can have your hands on your waist if you like. Tap, 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 tap. And then bring that knee up, and let's lift the knee up. Toes are facing the front wall. Lift, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then go ahead and bring that foot out. Toes are facing the ceiling. You can stay still, or maybe you lift it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Option to go straight into airplane or to come down and take a little rest. Lots of different choices. And when you're ready, if you're not already in airplane, go ahead and take your airplane. Holding that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come straight in slowly into your tree. Whatever that might be, just avoiding that knee area, making sure it's a high tree or a low tree, and maybe growing your tree, opening up. Taking your gaze maybe to the wall or the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. And then go ahead and release that. Let's take care of that right foot. Standing leg, pressing those toes into the mat, exaggerating that press. Feels really nice. And then just rotating that ankle very gently towards the right. You can have your hands on your waist if you like. And then rotate the other direction towards the left. And then give it a little kick. You can give both feet a kick. And then you can just kind of glue your toes to the mat and just lift the heel on either side, just to make those calf muscles feel nice and loosened up after all that hard work. Balance is such an important thing. We don't want to fall. And this will prevent a lot of problems and injuries. Let's go ahead and bring our feet about hip distance, and let's reverse swan dive. So sweeping our arms up towards the ceiling into a mountain pose. And then exhale, taking a fold. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me better. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Make it as flat as you can. And then exhale, come right back down onto your table. You're not going to stay in table, so you really don't need to make any prop adjustments here. And then we're just going to sit back on our seats, bring our legs around. We're working our way onto our backs. I'm going to turn this way. So once we're there, we're just going to have 2 ways of getting down. You can bring your hands on either side, thumbs facing the ceiling, and just slowly come back, maybe stop, and slowly come back. Or you can take a more gentle approach where you just find your mat with your elbows and come back onto your elbows and forearms, maybe even straighten the legs. You can turn this into what I call or what is called a fish pose, where you just bring your feet and flop them out. Looks like a little fish or a mermaid. And you can just stay here, let your head hang back, and then eventually come all the way down, just feeling your spine hit the bottom of the mat or the back of the mat. And then once you're down, let's go ahead and bend our knees and just put your hands right on your belly and just swish the knees side to side. Should feel really nice. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then on your next breath, go ahead and knock your knees together, just bring them together, and heel toe your feet all the way out as far as you can go to the outside edge of your mat. Maybe you can bring them off your mat, maybe they're just right on that center edge. And you can just leave your hands where they are, or just relax them with the palms facing up. You can close your eyes. This is a bit of a relaxation pose. And let's breathe here. In the back of your throat, breath travels up the spine. And breath travels down the spine. So nice. One more, breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. And then on your next breath, go ahead and heel toe your feet back together. Let's go ahead and come into a waterfall pose, drawing your feet up towards the ceiling, drawing your toes towards your forehead. There it is again. So important. Let's go ahead and point our toes and just be aware of how that feels. And then draw your toes towards your forehead. You feel the difference? It's so nice. Really good for sciatica. And we're just going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to do our reverse pigeon. We're going to take this left leg and bend it and just create an upside down number 4. So the ankle on the left foot will just line up with that right above that right knee. Take your hands and just reach them through, clasp your hands and draw that right leg towards you. Toes are facing your forehead. And another thing that's really nice to do in this pose is you can rock a little bit side to side, take your left elbow and just press into that left thigh, rocking side to side. Really, really a treat for the low back. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very nice. We're going to switch sides now. So on your next breath, just switch sides. Take your hands, reach them through, pull that left leg forward, press out with the right elbow into the right thigh. Draw those toes right towards the forehead. Make those little gentle rocks side to side. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. So nice. And go ahead and release this. And let's just draw our knees right into our chest and make some little circles into our mat with that low back region, the sacrum area. Just rolling that around. And on your next breath, turn this into a happy baby. Bringing the feet up towards the ceiling and grabbing the big toe and the second toe, rocking a little bit side to side. I was asked the other day about this too. I had a student say they really don't like grabbing their toes. Is there something they can do to avoid that? And I said, yes, absolutely. Grab the outside edges of your feet and give them a little pull. Sometimes our toes are a little sensitive. So just rocking side to side, hearing your breath. And if you've lost the breath, just remember breathing in as though you're surprised to see somebody, exhaling as though you're fogging up a mirror. Very, very nice. And then on your next breath, let's go ahead and come right back up into waterfall. Straight legs, draw those toes towards your forehead as much as you can. We're going to do a little shoestring twist. So take your right leg, bring it a little closer towards your body, and then just cross it over the left. And then you might even want to look up, bend your knees, and try to grab your feet. Grab your right foot, grab your left foot, and give them a little tug. You're going to feel this in the hip area and at the back of your thighs. Really, really nice stretch. You can rock a little bit, or you can just stay still. You can relax your head if you like. Holding this, breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. Inhale. Exhale. And then release this. Come right back up to that waterfall. Let's just stay in waterfall for just a breath, drawing those toes towards your forehead. Inhale. Exhale. And then bring that left leg just slightly forward, cross it over, making that X, bend at the knees, and then grab the feet and just draw them towards you. If you're comfortable with your feet, you can actually interlace your fingers in between the toes, pedicure style. Give yourself a little foot massage. And just enjoy this. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice work. And then releasing this, let's take a reclined butterfly, just pressing the soles of the feet together. You can just lay your hands out into a T or by your body side, pressing the soles together. Toes are facing the ceiling. Let's take a lion's breath here. Deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale through your mouth. Ha. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the mouth. Ha. So nice. And then on your next breath, just slowly, slowly, slowly bring those knees back together and just allow them to hover right over your hips. We're going to set up for a supine twist. So if your arms are not already out in a T, go ahead and just draw them out into a T. Palms are facing the ceiling. Let's take a breath in. And then exhale, let those knees fall to the right side. Let your gaze go over your left shoulder. If you like to, you can extend an outside leg and press it down over that bent leg and just enjoy this. Go back to your intention that you set earlier in today's practice and just think about that word, that goal, that affirmation, whatever it was you set for yourself. Hearing your breath. Staying for another breath. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. And then on your next inhale, just bring those knees right back up to hover, right over the hips. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Let those knees fall to the left side. Whatever you did on the right side, let's just set that up on the left side. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. I was asked a question, does it matter which side the knees go? Can you start on the left? You absolutely can. There's really no rule on that. Staying for another breath. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. And then very gently go ahead and bring those knees just right over to hover, right over the hips. And let's go ahead and just press the soles of the feet together back into butterfly. We're not going to stay here very long. And just slowly let the feet find the mat. Slowly, easy on the low back. Just slow, 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 slow. And once they're there, go ahead and draw your arms in. Your palms are going to stay facing the ceiling, and let's go ahead and spread the legs wide outside on your mat. Closing your eyes for Shavasana. Just relax here. Maybe move the head side to side just to relax the neck a little bit. If your tongue is stuck to the roof of your mouth, let it just drop right into your lower palate. Go ahead and move your jawbone side to side. Sometimes we clench our teeth and we don't even realize we're doing it when we're exercising and doing our stretches. So just move that jawbone side to side. And then begin to melt. Just melt your shoulders into the mat. Melt your forearms, your hands, your wrists, your fingers. Melt your torso, your low back, your hips, knees, all the way to the tips of your toes. Just melt right into your mat. If you need to bring your feet a little closer in together to draw your low back a little deeper into the mat, please feel free to do that. And let's stay here for about 6 breaths, just being aware of your chest as it rises and falls. Just thinking positive thoughts and staying in the right now, in the present, melting into your mat. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. Exhale. A few more breaths. Total relaxation. Closing the eyes. And then on your next breath, begin to make some movement into your body. Just slowly begin to awaken, wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. Maybe even making a fist with your hands and rotating your wrists, rotating the ankles. You can flatten your feet onto your mat and slide the feet up. Bring the arms out and maybe just windshield wipe those legs side to side, bringing the hips along for the ride. Gentle, easy movements. You're just going to feel the stress start to just melt right out of your body. And then coming to a stop, just draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Let's take a breath here. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Oh, feeling so much better. And then go ahead and bring your feet down flat. Let's point our toes, this time towards the wall in front of us, and just reach your arms back behind you, reaching your fingertips towards that wall behind you. Let's try to grow a little taller and stretch, stretch, stretch. And then let's turn on all of our muscles. Let's squeeze our face, squeeze our fingertips, squeeze our forearms, squeeze your arms, squeeze your abs, squeeze your thighs, lift your kneecaps, squeeze your feet. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Maybe the body's shaking. Maybe you feel a little warmth being created. And then just relax, melt right back into your mat. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Feels so good. And then go ahead and slowly roll over to your right side. Make a little pillow for your head. Just relax. And then on your next breath, make your way back up into that comfortable seated position. If you'd like to sit on a block, we're not going to be here very long, but if you'd like to sit on a block, feel free to grab that block. If not, just sit in your comfortable seated position. We're just going to take a few more little stretches here. Let's go ahead and bring our fingertips out on either side of our body and take an inhale. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Palms meet, and then just draw the palms down to your heart center. Spread the fingers wide and press the fingertips into each other. Let's dial the fingertips down. Take a look at your veins. Pinky fingers are trying to reach for your torso. Maybe they're even touching. Feeling a nice stretch in the forearms and the wrists. for all that computer work and cell phone work you might be doing. And then rotate the fingertips right back up towards the ceiling. Let's separate our hands one more time. Take another forward fold. Press the hands into the mat and press the chest down towards the mat, feeling that in the low back, stretching that out. And then gently press back up. You can place your hands either on your knees or press them together. Let's reach our shoulders up towards our ears, roll them back, creating that space. And that's the end of our gentle practice. Thank you so much for letting me guide you and joining me today. It was my pleasure, my privilege, and my honor. Namaste.